ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नम ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन् इति नामिनि। नमस्ते सारस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणि निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणि। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. I welcome all the devotees for today's session. As we are celebrating Janmashtami very soon, let us try to prepare our consciousness for Janmashtami by discussing on this topic, how to invite Krishna into our lives. Yes, Krishna is already there in our lives, and we need to feel his presence more and more and more by becoming more serious, more sincere in our devotional practices like chanting, hearing Harikatha, and worshipping the deities, serving the Vaishnavas, and doing whatever we are doing. So, by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada and several Vaishnava Acharyas, Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and the Supreme Lord Krishna himself, we are all bestowed with this great opportunity to practice the process of Krishna consciousness, to practice the process of Bhakti Yoga. And it's not an ordinary privilege. And this process is so blissful that Krishna himself says, Susukham kartum avyayam. So this process is meant to give us the real happiness, spiritual happiness. In contrast with the temporary material pleasures in this world, the pleasure of chanting the names of Krishna, the pleasure of hearing Krishna Katha is unparalleled. It's eternal. It completely nourishes the heart. No amount of material facilities cannot satisfy the heart as much as a small opportunity to serve Krishna, to see Krishna, to hear about Krishna, to speak about Krishna, and to worship Krishna. So, the best way to celebrate any Vaishnava festival is to first recognize the great opportunity that we have to come closer to Krishna by valuing the process and following the process sincerely. So, first we need to realize our good fortune. We need to count our blessings. We need to realize our great fortune of coming in contact with this path of Bhakti Yoga, Krishna consciousness. And to the degree we value this path, to that degree we will do the needful not to lose this path, not to deviate from this path, but to go deep into this path. Whether we deviate from the path or go deep into the path depends on how we use our minute independence. We have little independence. As Adhaka Bhaktas, or as human beings, or as any living being has some independence. Especially human beings are bestowed with this refined intelligence to channelize their independence in a direction that brings them to closer to self-realization, spiritual realization, and not just be caught up in this temporary material pleasures. Now let us try to meditate on this topic of how to invite Krishna into our lives. As I said some time back, he's already there in our lives. He's there in our hearts. super soul. Sarvasya chaham hridi sannivishto mattah smritirjnanam apohanam cha. So Krishna says that I stay within the hearts of every single living being. Ishvaraha sarvabhutanam hrideshirjana tishtati. So he's there in the hearts of all living beings. However, how many people realize his presence in the heart? And some fortunate souls come in contact with the path of Krishna consciousness. But how many of them who are fortunate enough sincerely go deep into the path? Sometimes a struggling sadhaka's practice of Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam, and other limbs of bhakti can be very superficial, can be more on a superficial level, not going sufficiently deep into Krishna consciousness. Just putting a tick mark, okay, 60 notes, done. Some little bit of reading, done. So it's not just like a to-do list. Yes, we can always keep a to-do list and become more disciplined in our sadhana. But more than executing these sadhana practices like a daily chore, we need to come to a stage where it becomes our natural expression to worship the Lord, to remember the Lord. That's very elevated stage, but we need to regularly take our baby steps to come to that stage. That is sadhana bhakti. As Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu says, sadhana bhakti is engaging our senses in the service of Krishna in such a way that we develop emotion for Krishna, bhava for Krishna. The result of sadhana is bhava. So we perform sadhana of Sravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam, Padasevanam, all these processes of bhakti we perform in line with the teachings of Acharyas. Then the result of that is bhava. We need to develop that emotional bonding with Krishna. Buddha bhava samanvitaha, Krishna says. So one of the most effective ways of cultivating this mood of inviting Krishna into our lives is by observing the activities or the mood of several pure devotees who invited Krishna into their lives. First, Vasudeva and Devaki invited Krishna into their lives even by undergoing so many difficulties in their lives. They underwent tremendous amount of miseries of seeing the death of their 6 newborn babies. And Devaki Mata also suffered a miscarriage in her 7th pregnancy. And finally, in the 8th pregnancy, Krishna appeared as their son. So they underwent a lot of difficulties. They did not hesitate to go through these difficulties. They did not lose faith in Krishna's protection while undergoing these difficulties, but they just accepted Krishna into their lives gratefully. But as soon as Krishna appeared in their lives, Krishna disappeared also. Right on his day of birth, Krishna instructed Vasudeva, take me to Gokul. I appeared in this prison cell of Kamsa, but my plan is not to kill Kamsa now. I'll do it sometime later, maybe after a decade or so, but not now. So, eighth child is predicted to kill Kamsa, and Vasudeva and Devaki could have expected, oh, Krishna is coming now, he will kill Kamsa, and we'll come out of this prison, we can stay happily with Krishna in Dwarka. But it didn't happen in Mathura, but that didn't happen. Vasudeva got this instruction, take me to Gokul. When will he come back? Only he knows. Others don't know. Vasudeva also didn't know. But later he came back after more than a decade and killed Kamsa. But doing the needful and going through whatever we need to go through, going through whatever Krishna arranges for us to go through, is required for us to have Krishna in our lives, have Krishna appear in our lives. In the next 3 days, we will try to discuss on this topic of how to invite Krishna into our lives. Today, let me focus on how Dwarka Vasis invited Krishna into their lives, into their homes, into Dwarka city, which is built by Krishna only. Krishna goes from, although Dwarka is his headquarters, Krishna oftentimes just goes out to Hastinapur, especially to meet Pandavas, to Indraprastha to meet the Pandavas, and to go to different other places. Once he went to Mithila city to meet two devotees named Sritadeva and Bahulashva, and he stayed there for a while and then he came back. So, like that, Krishna is doing a lot of traveling. Although his Dwarka city is his headquarters, keeps going here and there. So, once Krishna came back from Hastinapur city to Dwarka city, as soon as Krishna came to the entrance of this Dwarka city, he took his Panchajanya conch shell and started blowing that conch shell. And that created such a tumultuous sound that gave a lot of hope and bliss in the hearts of all the Dwarkavasis who heard that sound. Many of these Dwarkavasis, when when Krishna came to Dwarka and blew this conch shell, they were either taking their meals or bathing or dressing themselves or decorating themselves or conversing with someone else or doing some other activities. They abandoned all that they were doing and they came running to receive Krishna at the entrance of Dwarka city. So they were in a state of melancholy. They were missing Krishna so much. They were in deep separation from Krishna for such a long time. And finally, Krishna came after such a long gap, and these Dwarkavasis felt as if their lives have reappeared in their bodies. So they came with great eagerness and happiness. Children came, ladies came, men came, Brahmanas came, and all categories of citizens in this entire city of Dwarka came to receive Krishna with great eagerness and enthusiasm. And they also brought some presentations for Krishna. When Krishna took this conch shell into his hands and started blowing that conch shell, it looked so beautiful. That conch shell was white in color, like a swan, and Krishna's hand is blue in color, and Krishna's palm is red in color. And when Krishna is holding this conch like this, hold mouse like this. So Krishna is holding some conch like this, and that's looking like a swan. And Krishna's fingers are like lotus stems, and this is like water. So it seemed as if a beautiful swan is nicely swimming in a water reservoir amidst lotus stems. That's the comparison given by the acharyas. And when this conch shell touched Krishna's lips, white conch shell became reddish. Because Krishna's lips are red, like bimba fruit. So the conch shell became slightly reddish, especially the tip. Acharya Prabhupada says that when matter comes in contact with spirit, automatically matter is spiritualized. Just as when conch shell came in contact with Krishna's lips, the conch shell became reddish. White conch shell became reddish. So similarly, when we dovetail all our activities and propensities and desires in the service of Krishna, naturally our desires will become spiritual, our proclivities and activities will become spiritual. The flower is there, it's just matter. It's just a product of earth, which is material element. But you take that flower and offer it to Krishna's lotus feet, and then smell that Mahaprasad flower, that is spiritual fragrance, that is spiritual object now. So anything that is offered to Krishna with love and devotion is accepted by Krishna. Patram pushpam phalam toyam yobe bhaktya prayachati tadaham bhakti pahritam ashnami prayatatmanah. Patram pushpam phalam toyam. So when you offer a flower or a fruit or a leaf or a little water to Krishna with love, with affection, Krishna will accept it with great eagerness, and it becomes spiritualized. As Uddhava says, Tvayopabhukta sraggandha vaso alankara charchitaha uchishta bhojino dasaihi tava mayam jaye mahim. So Tvayopabhukta sraggandha, Krishna enjoys some garlands. Srag means garlands, gandha means sandalwood pulp, vasa means clothes, alankara charchitaha, different kinds of decorations, ornaments, etc. So Krishna Upabhukta, Krishna enjoys all this paraphernalia that we offer to him. And after we offer it to him, we accept the offerings back as his Mahaprasad and honor them. And thus we will become relieved from Maya. We will conquer Maya. Tava Mayam Jayemahi. When the servants of Krishna honor the paraphernalia offered to Krishna, honor the Mahaprasad paraphernalia of Krishna, naturally they conquer Maya. So, one way of inviting Krishna into our lives is honoring the Maha of Krishna, honoring the paraphernalia of Krishna. So that will drive away Maya and that will bring us closer to Krishna, right? It's not just calling Krishna to you, you also need to go towards Krishna, right? Both should happen. Krishna will anyways come to you when we take one step towards him. He will take 10 steps towards us, and his steps are bigger than our steps, right? So naturally, it's a two-way thing. So yathama prapadyante tamsataiva bhajamiham. We need to go closer to Krishna, not only calling Krishna, but also moving towards Krishna. And one way is to accept the paraphernalia offered to Krishna. Now all these Dwarkavasis heard this concept and they came running enthusiastically to Krishna and then offered him different kinds of presentations. Now Krishna is the source of everything. Aham sarvasya prabhavo mattaha sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante mam buddha bhava samanvitaha. Aham sarvasya prabhavo. Krishna is the source of everything in the entire cosmic manifestation. And these Dwarkavasis are offering something in this planet only to Krishna. And the entire planet came from Krishna. Basically, they are offering what Krishna has given them back to Krishna. And that's what we can do. We can't create anything special for Krishna. Everything is a part of his creation. And we take little bit of some part of his creation and offer it back to him. Are we offering anything? We are not offering anything. What belongs to us? Nothing belongs to us. What belongs to us is our little independence, our little free will, our ability to desire, our sense of possessiveness, our sense of identity. And even these things also are bestowed upon us by Krishna only. So when we choose to offer that to Krishna, when we choose to dovetail our desires towards the service of Krishna, that's the right offering. When we give proposes in one purport, in the third canto, when someone gives up a palace and goes to the forest, can you call him a renunciant? No. Traditionally, conventionally, you may call such a person renunciant. But where is renunciation here? Palace doesn't belong to him. Forest also doesn't belong to him. Just because he goes from the palace to the forest to the palace, you can't call him a renunciant because both did not belong to him anyways. Renouncing means renouncing what you have, not what someone else has given you. I renounced that palace. That palace doesn't belong to you. How can you renounce it? So what belongs to us is our sense of possessiveness, our false ego. That we should give up. When we give up false ego, then we are renunciates. When we give up that sense of possessiveness, that attitude of controllership, then we are renunciates. That kind of renunciation is favorable towards Bhakti. Now, these Dwarkavasis gathered some gifts, presentations, and offered them to Krishna. And what will Krishna do to them? With them. Although practically there may not be utility of those gifts, somebody comes with a bouquet or offers a flower to Krishna. So what Krishna values is not the expensive gift that is offered to him, but what Krishna values is the feeling, the emotion behind that offering. So when somebody offers something to Krishna with love, with sincerity, with affection, with gratitude, with genuinity, that emotion is what excites Krishna. Prabhupada gives the simple example. A worshipper of sun god goes and does arati to sun. He takes a lamp, key lamp, and then offers like this. He will just, rotate that lamp like that, multiple circles. So, just because this worshipper of sun god is offering this lamp to the sun, he's not doing any favor to the sun. What favor he can do to the sun by offering a small flame? Small flame can produce little heat and little light. But sun is the source of all heat and all light. How can A worshipper of sun god benefits the sun god by offering a little flame to the sun, who is the source of the all heat and all light in the universe. Hare Krishna. Similarly, when we offer something to Krishna, we need to understand that we are not benefiting Krishna, we are benefiting ourselves. That offering made with a sincere intention and sincere heart to Krishna will bring us closer to Krishna, which is the ultimate benefit, ultimate purpose of human life. If you have some compassion upon yourself, then bring yourself closer to Krishna. That is self-compassion. If you want to be kind towards yourself, stop all self-gratificatory endeavors and perform bhakti. That's how we can show kindness towards yourself. If you want to respect yourself, self-respect is a very common term. Self-respect. What is the greatest self-respect that we can offer to ourselves? By recognizing ourselves as servant of Krishna. If I need to respect myself, if I have to have self-respect, then I need to recognize myself as a servant of Krishna. If I recognize myself with any other designation or any other identity under the sky, whether it is the king of heaven or king of Brahmaloka or the sole proprietor of the entire universe or CEO of a company or a doctor or an engineer or whatever it may be, teacher, brahmachari, grihastha, vanaprastha, sannyasi, all these are temporary identities. The real respect that we can give to the soul is to identify the person as a servant of Krishna. That's the greatest self-respect. So, by identifying ourselves as servants of Krishna, if we render some service to Krishna with the paraphernalia that Krishna has given us, that will bring us closer to Krishna. That will bring Krishna closer to us. And that's how we invite Krishna into our hearts, into our lives. So, all the Dwarkavasis offered all this paraphernalia to Krishna, presentations to Krishna, and Krishna greeted them, accepted them. Then the Dwarkavasis started expressing their feelings. So far, they offered their presentations. Now they started expressing their feelings. They said, Natasmate natha sadangri pankajam virincha vairincha surendra vanditam parayanam kshema mihechhatam param nayatra kalaha prabhavet parah prabhavam Natasmate natha sadangri pankajam. The Dwarkavasis are saying, Oh Lord, we always offer our obeisances, humble obeisances unto your lotus feet. Not only we, Dwarkavasis, so many people offer their obeisances unto you. Who are they? Virincha, Brahma will offer obeisances. Vairincha, sons of Brahma also offer their obeisances. Who are the sons of Brahma? Shiva, Narada Muni, and all of them. Different Prajapatis, different Manus, and different sages, they all offer obeisances to you. Surendra, who is the king of all the Devatas, he also offers obeisances to you. Sanatasmati natha sadangri pankajam virincha vairincha surendra vanditam parayanam kshemamihechhatam param nayatra kalaha prabhavet parah prabho parayanam kshemamiha ichhatam. Those who desire their own welfare in this world, they must offer obeisances to you. Why? Na yatra kalaha prabhavet parah prabho. Every single living being in this material world, every living being that has a material body in this material world is affected by time, affected by the three material modes. To come out of the clutches of time and modes, kala and karma and gunas, we need to take shelter of a person who is beyond kala, karma, gunas. Kala, karma, gunadhino, deho, yam pancha bhautikaha. So, kala, time factor, karma, fruitive baggage, guna, guna means sattvagun, rajagun, tamagun, goodness, passion, and ignorance. Adhino, we are all under the control, subjugation of these three things. Not just that, dehoyam pancha bhautikaha. This deha, this body, which is made of five material elements, and the five material elements are there everywhere around us. So we are all being controlled by all these things. So to come out of the control of all these things, we need to take shelter of a person who is not controlled by these things. who is beyond the control of these things. Who is that? Krishna. Na yatra kalaha prabhavet parah prabho. Kala has no prabhava on him. Time can influence everything and every phenomena, every person in this material world, but time cannot influence Krishna. Time is an energy of Krishna. Or time is another form of Krishna, as Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita. Kalosmi loka kshayat krit pravriddho. Krishna appears in the form of time factor to cause the deterioration of everything material in this world. Kalosmi loka kshayat krit pravriddho. So, to come out of this effect of time, we need to take shelter of Krishna. Then the Dwarka verses say, Bhavayanastvam bhava vishva bhavana, tvameva matata suhurpati pita, tvam sadgururnaha paramam cha daivatam, yasyana krutino babhuviva. The Dwarka verses say, Bhavayanastvam bhava vishva bhavana. They're offering this prayer very beautifully. Oh Lord, you are Vishwa Bhavana. You are the creator of the entire universe. Tvameva Mathata. You are our mother. Suhrut, you are our friend. Patihi, you are our husband, you are our master. Pita, you are our father. Tvameva Mathata Suhrut Patihi Pita Tvam Sadgururnaha. You are also our Guru. Paramam Cha Devatam. You are our worshipable master. You are the master of all the Vrishnis. Suhritpati pita tam sadgurunah paramam cha daivatam yasyana vritya krutino babhuvima. Only by following your footsteps, only by following your instructions, only by following your footsteps and the example that you have set for all of us, we will get any success in life. Success in life is not in attaining different kinds of material facilities. The real success of life is in following the teachings of Krishna. Yaha shastra vidhi mutsrutya vartate kamakarataha na sasiddhim avapnoti na sukham na parangatim. One who disregards the shastras, one who gives up the instructions and teachings of the scriptures and behaves whimsically, such a person cannot attain any happiness in this world or in the next life. Next life. This is very, very important to understand that life is best lived by following the instructions of the Supreme Lord, who is our best well-wisher. Whose instructions would you like to follow? Just because somebody is in an authoritative position, just because they have a status in the hierarchy of an organization, you are obliged to follow their instructions. So there's an obligation there. That kind of obligatory following of someone's instructions and protocols could be done for some incentives. Sometimes an employee may follow the instructions of an employer because the employer is giving salary at the end of the month. But how much love does the employee have for the employer? Some can have. Some employers are very good. They're loving and caring towards their employees. They even get some kind of affection from them. So fine, but they're very rare, extremely rare in this world. Prabhupada says in the second canto of Bhagavad Gita, second canto of Bhagavatam, no master in this material world will share equal amount of opportunities and privileges and facilities with their servants. The CEO or the master or the boss may sit in a big AC cabin on a sofa, big table, but the servant, the security guard, will sit on a small wooden stool right in front of that opulent, well-furnished office. Right? We are not saying that both should have the same cabin, but in this material world, there is natural differences between the master and the servant. But in the spiritual world, it's not like that, because Krishna is not an insecure master. In the spiritual world, Krishna shares equal amount of facilities and happiness and powers and independence with all his associates. They're as independent as Krishna. But all their independence they use to serve Krishna. They're as powerful as Krishna in one sense, but all their powers they use for Krishna's service. They're as joyful as Krishna. Actually speaking, Krishna is not as joyful as them. Although Krishna is Sachidananda Vigraha, uh, the Ananda that the devotees of Krishna get by serving Krishna in the spiritual world, even Krishna doesn't get. Krishna is such a master who gives more happiness to his devotees than he enjoys himself. And that's the whole idea behind the incarnation of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Why did Krishna appear as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Because Krishna wants to experience the great happiness that Radharani was experiencing. Was not, is. She's constantly, forever experiencing that happiness in service to Krishna. Krishna was thinking, Radharani is serving me. She is doing all the hard work. But her happiness is 10 million times more than my happiness. She is rendering service and I am receiving service. And the recipient of service is not as happy as the person who is rendering service. So I want her happiness. I want to experience the same type of happiness that she is experiencing. Therefore, I need to take her position. I need to take her emotion. I need to take her complexion. Let me become Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Krishna accepted the complexion of Radharani. That is Suvarna Champaka Pradikta Gaura Vigrahe Mukha Prabha Parasta Koti Sharadendu Mandale. So Radharani's complexion is golden, like a golden champak flower. And Lord Krishna accepted that complexion. And Radharani's mood is that I want to be thoroughly Krishna conscious. She is thoroughly Krishna conscious and she just wants to use her body, mind, words, everything in the service of Krishna. Therefore, she is called Devi Krishnamayi Prokta Radhika Paradevata. Devi Krishnamayi. Krishna means is completely filled with Krishna. Her body, her mind, her words, her existence, her activities are completely filled with Krishna. And she's the epitome of Krishna consciousness, right? And Krishna aspires to be like her. And that's the idea behind Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's appearance, where Krishna adopted the mode of a devotee. So this is the nature of Supreme Lord Krishna. He gives more pleasure to his devotees than he experiences himself. Not like a material master. But the problem is, most people in this material world, they serve material masters for material wealth. नाथेन पुरुषोत्तमे त्रिजगताम् एकाधिपे चेतस सेव्ये स्वस्य पदस्य दातरिपरे नारायणे तिष्ठति यं कञ्चित् पुरुषाधमं कतिपया ग्रामेशमल्पार्थदम् सेवायै मृगयामहे नरमहो मूढावरता वयम् नाथेन पुरुषोत्तमे त्रिजगताम्. Krishna is the Natha, the master of the three jagats, the three planets, planetary systems. Ekadhipe chetasa. Ekadhipe means the one and only master and the creator and the controller and the proprietor of all the three worlds is Krishna. As Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita. Not only Kulashekara Alvar is saying this in Kundamala Stotra, Krishna is himself saying, Bhoktaram Yigna Dapasam Sarva Loka Maheshwaram. I am the Sarva Loka Maheshwaram. Krishna said in the Bhagavad Gita. He is the proprietor of all the planets, controller of all planets. So, Nathenaha Purushottame Trijagatam Ekadhipe Chetasa Sevi Swasya Padasya Data Ripare Narayane Tishtati. Krishna is the master of all the three worlds. And even if we render service to Krishna, in our mind, in our consciousness, Krishna will give his own abode to you. He will give Vaikuntha to you. He will give Goloka to you. Oh, he is rendering service to me. If someone questions Krishna, where did he do that service? He is imagining that he is doing some service. In his imagination, he offered you some sweet rice. In his meditation, he offered you some jewelry. He did not actually serve. But Krishna says, oh, he served me in imagination, in mind. Still, I will accept the service. If there is sincere intent, even imaginary service can attract Krishna's mercy. If there is no sincere intention, even actual service rendered physically cannot impress the heart. As simple as that. There is no sincere intention or genuine emotion, purity of heart, then Krishna will not be impressed. Even if you offer him so many things, Krishna will not be impressed. Once when Krishna went to Hastinapur, Duryodhana invited him. He said, Krishna, thank you very much for coming to Hastinapur. I have arranged your accommodation in Dushasan's palace, which is better than my palace. And also, I have arranged a wonderful feast for you. Come, see, look at the dining table. Hundreds of items are there for you. Then Krishna said, I am not eager to stay in Dushasan's palace. I am not hungry for your opulent, lavish food. Why? Because you don't offer it with pure intention. You don't offer it with love and affection for me. Forget love and affection for me. You hate my devotees. How can I accept hospitality from a person who hates my devotees? Who is inimical towards my devotees, the Pandavas? I don't want your palace. I don't want your food. Let me stay in Vidura's palace. Vidura never invited, at least till then. Not that Vidura did not want to invite, but because he's just a minister, small servant. Hastinapur and king is Dhritarashtra, and the prince is Duryodhan. They are supposed to be taking care of the honorable guest Krishna. So Vidura never imagined that Krishna would be willing to stay in his home. But Vidura became ecstatic. Oh, Krishna will stay in my home, my humble home, simple home. Krishna, please come. Come. And Vidura started offering some bananas. He nicely peeled the bananas and offered to Krishna. Not the banana, but the peel. And Krishna accepted it, ate the peel. So, where is the opulent feast organized by Duryodhan? And where is the banana peel offered by Vidura? If somebody offers you feast with pizza, burger, idli, dosa, or paratha, naan, butter naan, kulcha, biryani, they put all these on one side. On the other side, they'll put some banana peels. They'll say, choose your menu. Who will take banana peel? But Krishna takes. Because banana peel has love. All this elaborate menu does not have that love. So, Krishna is emotion. And Krishna gives more happiness to his devotees than he takes for himself. So the way of accepting Krishna's, way of inviting Krishna into our lives is to invite him with love, to offer things to him with love and not with some kind of majestic grandeur, pride. See, this is what I have offered to you. This is what is my offering. My offering is greater than their offering. See, we are seeing the count, the number, the expense. How many dollars did I spend to offer this gift? Or how many numbers of, say, books I distributed, or number of shlokas that I have learned. All these external figures, statistics, they don't impress Krishna. They're important some way, definitely. Figures impress common people and they come closer to Krishna. In that sense, figures are important. But at the same time, we need to understand that emotion is more important than the action. Bhakti is not just an emotion. Therefore, Prabhupada translates bhakti as devotional service, not just devotion. Oftentimes, bhakti is translated as devotion, but Prabhupada says devotional service. So, bhakti is not just an emotion, it's an action associated with an emotion. But if there is only action and there is no attempt to cultivate that emotion, then we have a long way to go. Right? Ultimately, Krishna is looking for that emotion more than action. But as a part of our sadhana bhakti, we do some action with our senses, with an intention to cultivate that emotion, bhava. Right? So, now coming back to the main shloka that we were discussing. नाथेन पुरुषोत्तमे त्रिजगताम् एकाधिपे चेतस सेव्ये स्वस्य पदस्य दातरिपरे नारायणे तिष्ठति यं कञ्चित् पुरुषाधमं कतिपया ग्रामेशमल्पार्थदम् सेवायै यामहेन रमहो मूढ़ावराकावयम्. Giving up that service to Purushottama Krishna, who can bestow even Vaikuntha and Goloka for an imaginary service, done with sincerity, of course. I am serving some material masters in this world. They are He is Purushottama and they are Purushadhama. Yam kanchit Purushadhamam katipaya grameshamalparthatam. They are mini landlords. They may possess some villages. Krishna is Ekadhipe. He is the one and only master of all the three worlds, Jagatam. And here is some landlord, some material master who is just uh, landlord of some villages, some little land. And why am I serving him? Alparthadam, a little bit of salary. So we may have to earn our livelihood, and for that purpose we may serve certain material masters, but we should not forget the fact that Krishna is our eternal master, and we need to do that spiritual service more than the material service for some material money, material wealth. Now, the Dwarkavasis are saying, Yasyana Vritya Krutino Babhuvyama. Only by rendering service to you, only by following your instructions, we attain success. Any success attained by disregarding the instructions of the Supreme Lord and the scriptures is not sustainable success. For success to be satisfying, success should bring satisfaction. One may be very successful in attaining figures and have so many accomplishments and achievements in life, so many medals and money and wealth and land and property and followers, so many achievements, which are seen as success by this material world. But the real success is how much have you pleased Krishna? The real success in spiritual life is some say dhir haritoshanam. Haritoshanam, the real satisfaction that a devotee experiences is in the satisfaction of the Lord. When my activities, when my consciousness is satisfying to Krishna, that is my real satisfaction and that is real success. What is the point of attaining so much of success on a material plane that doesn't satisfy my heart and that doesn't satisfy Krishna's heart? If Krishna's heart is satisfied, we are satisfied. Our hearts are satisfied. Krishna's heart is satisfied by selfless service, not just accomplishments and achievements. They're important. As long as the consciousness is to please Krishna. If the consciousness is disconnected from Krishna, any amount of material success on a material plane will not ultimately satisfy the self. How many successful people in this material world experience loneliness? How many wealthy people in this world experience this feeling that no one loves me? They have wealth, they have unlimited accomplishments, but many times they feel a sense of loneliness, dissatisfaction, deficiency. Something is deficient in their lives. Many people are around them for their wealth, not out of love and affection. So, when a wealthy person is dying, sometimes so many people are surrounding these wealthy people and they're crying. Some are genuine tears, but some are fake tears also. They cry. Will he die fast? Why is he taking so much time? So that I can take his property. Some people are like that also. And some people cry, if he leaves, what will happen to me? Who will protect? So, the third canto of Bhagavatam, chapters number 30, 31, and 32 also, describe the saga of a conditioned soul in this material world who is pursuing material pleasures, giving up Krishna consciousness, giving up bhakti, giving up devotion to Krishna. But the Dwarkavasis are clearly establishing Yasyana Vritya Krutino Babhuvima. Any success in life is attained by Anuvritya, by sincerely following the instructions of Krishna. Kritina means success, Anuvritya means following the instructions, following the footsteps of Krishna. So these are some prayers. There's one more prayer. I forgetting what is the next shloka in the prayers. They say, Aho sanatha bhavata smayadvayam त्रैविष्टपानम् अपि दूरदर्शनम् प्रेमस्मितस्निग्धनिरीक्षणाननं पश्येम रूपं तव सर्वसौभगम् अहो सनाथा भवता स्मयद्वयम्. Sanatha. Anatha means one who has no master. Sanatha means one who has a master. In this entire creation, there is no Anatha. Anatha is a person who has not realized that the Lord is their Natha. Only when a person forgets one's eternal connection with God, with the Supreme Lord Krishna, one considers oneself Anatha. But one who remembers that Krishna is my eternal master, Krishna is my eternal protector, huh? One who remembers that Mamaivaamsho Jiva Loke Jiva Bhuta Sanatana, one who thinks that I am an Amsha of Krishna. Where is the possibility of such a person thinking of oneself as orphan, Anatha? We are not Anatha, we are Sanatha. Aho Sanatha Bhavata Smayadvayam Traivishtapannam Api Darshanam. Aho Sanatha. Oh Lord, you are our Sanatha, you are our great master. We are people who have wonderful master. Bhavatasmayadvayam Traivishtapannam Api Darshanam. To be able to see you, to have your darshan, is very, very difficult and rare even for the great devatas. Sometimes the devatas are in troubles. Brahma and all these devatas, Indra, Chandra, Varuna, Vayu, Bhumi Devi, and all of them go to the shore of Bilkosh. And there they offer prayers to the Lord. Sahasrasirsha Purushaha Sahasrakshas Sahasrapat Sabhumim Vishvato Vritva Atyatishta Dashangulam Purusha Evedagam Sarvam Yad Bhutam Yascha Bhavyam. Like that they sing Purusha Sukta prayers. Then Lord Vishnu does not come. He sends a message to Brahma through the mind, through the heart. So Brahma gets that revelation. Oh, Lord Vishnu, give this message. Then he will broadcast that message amongst all the devatas. He says, all the devatas, you please note that the Supreme Lord Krishna is going to appear on the earth planet very soon in the Yadu dynasty. And he has instructed all of the devatas to take birth in various dynasties like Yadu, Bhoja, Vrishni, Andhaka, all these dynasties to assist Krishna in his pastimes. Okay, this is the announcement. Announcement over. Then you should go to that planet and make arrangements for the Lord's appearance. And by the way, Lord Sankarshna is also going to appear as Balaram to assist Lord Krishna in his pastimes. So that's an announcement. Even Traivishtapannam Api Darshanam, all the devatas went all the way to the shore of Mid-Ocean, offered prayers to the Lord. The Lord did not give them darshan. He gave a wireless message only. Right? Sometimes the devatas are able to see the Lord. Many times they won't be able to see also. Traivishtapannam Api Darshanam. Darshanam means this opportunity to see the Lord is so far from them. But we Dwarkavasis, we got to see you. Thank you very much for coming back from Hastinapur. Thank you so much. So in this way, the Dwarkavasis express their gratitude. Traivishtapannam Api Darshanam. What's the effect of Krishna's darshan? Prema smita snigdha nirikshananam pashyema rupam tava sarva saubhagam. Prema smita means loving smiles. Snigdha nirikshana means affectionate glances. Prema smita snigdha nirikshana. Loving smiles and affectionate glances. Premasmita snigdha nirikshananam pashyema rupam tava sarva saubhagam. Your rupam, your divine form of Krishna is sarva saubhagam. It's an abode of all good fortune, all auspiciousness. And now we came in contact with your beautiful form. We are able to take your darshan. Although your darshan is like Dwar darshan for the devatas, it has become but the Nazdik darshan, close darshan for all of us. It's not Dur darshan for us. They're very close to you. So this is the greatness of Krishna's appearance in the lives of Dwarkavasis. And Dwarkavasis did not stop here. They said, यर्ह्याम्बुजाक्षपससारभो भवान् कुरून्मथोन्वाथ सुहृद्दिदृक्षया तत्राब्धकोटिप्रतिमक्षणो भवेत् रविं विनाक्ष्णोरिव नस्तवाच्युत. He said, Yirhyambujaksha pasasara wo bhavan, O Ambujaksha, O lotus-eyed the Lord, lotus-eyed Krishna. There's a problem with you. You know what is that problem? Although your headquarters is Dwarka, you keep on traveling everywhere, different places. Where do you go? Kurun, to visit the Kurus. Where are they? Hastinapur and Indraprastha. You go to Kurun. Mathun, sometimes you go to Mathura. Who is there in Mathura? All the Mathura was shifted to Dwarka, but still Krishna is going to Mathura. What does it mean? He goes to Mathura Mandal to visit the Vrajavasis, to meet Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda Mata and Radharani and all the Vrajavasis. So he visits there also. Kurun, Mathun, Vata, Suhrud, Didrkshaya. Didrkshaya means very eager to see your Suhruds, your dear friends, the Pandavas or Vrajavasis. You keep on traveling every time, never. And your own associates, Dwarkavasis, we don't get so much of your association. You're in Dwarka or Hastinapur, sorry, you're in Mathura, Vrindavan, or Hastinapur, or Indraprastha, and all these places. When will we get to see you? You go to Kurukshetra, you participate in war as a driver. So we are feeling separation from you. We are missing you. Tatrabda koti pratimakshano bhavet. In your absence, one kshana, one moment appears like koti. Abda koti means 1 crore years, 10 million years. One moment appears like 10 million years for the Vrajavasis, Dwarkavasis. They give an example also. Ravim vinakshno ivanastavachuta. Ravi means sun. Akshna means eyes. Ravim vina akshnor means when there is no sun, the eyes have no ability to see. Your eyes are functioning nicely. You don't have glasses, you don't have sight or number. Eyes are functioning perfectly. But if sun is not there, what will you see? Moon is not there, what will we see? Light, electricity, fire is not there, what will we see? Our eyes are not independent in seeing things. Eyes are always dependent on the luminaries created by Krishna. And the illumination coming from these luminaries is Krishna only. What is the proof? Krishna said in Bhagavad Gita. Krishna said, Rasohamapsu kaunteya prabhasmi shashi suryayoho. Prabhasmi shashi suryayoho. Shashi is moon, Surya is sun. Prabha means their illumination. I am that. Krishna says, I am the brightness of sun and moon. I am the illumination of sun and moon. Without Krishna, even sun god cannot give light, moon god cannot give light. Bhagavad Gita says it's very clear. Right? So the Dwarkavasis are saying that Ravim vinakshno arivanastava achyuta, we become like ice without sun. Dwarkavasis without Krishna are like ice without sun. Means we become dysfunctional out of intense separation from you. Oh Lord, please don't go. Please don't go every now and then. Please stay here for longer, long time. So they also continue their prayers, and at the end they say, Katham vayam natha chirosite tvayi prasanna drishtya khilatapasosanam जीवेम ते सुंदरः सशोभितम् अपश्यमाना वदनम मनोहरम कथम वयम नाथ अचिर असिते त्वयि. Oh Lord, if you are staying here for achira, short time, katham, how can we survive? Vayam natha, oh our dear master, if you are always staying for a very brief amount of time in Dwarka, how will we survive? Prasanna drishtya khilata pasoshanam, your prasanna drishti, your pleasant countenance, pleasant glances. Akhila Tapasoshanam, they have the power to completely dry up our lamentation and ocean of tears. Akhila Tapasoshanam. Jive mate sundaraha sashobhitam. Jive mate. How can we even live in this world without you? Sundaraha sashobhitam. How can we live without seeing your beautiful face which is decorated with an enchanting smile. Sundara hasa shobhitam. Apashyamana vadanam manoharam. Apashyamana means without seeing your beautiful face. Vadanam manoharam, which is very enchanting and charming. How can we survive? So the eyes constantly look for a beauty. And the greatest beauty is Krishna. So when the eyes miss the beautiful form of Krishna, then the eyes feel lost. There may be so many material beauties in this world, so many men and women in this world, or even hills and mountains and waterfalls and different places in this world. They all may be very beautiful. They may give some pleasure to the eyes. But the point is, when you see material beauty, you become agitated with a desire to enjoy it. But when you see spiritual beauty, you become inspired to serve it. Material beauty agitates the mind, spiritual beauty inspires the mind, serves the mind, pacifies the mind, calms the mind. When you're anxious, you go in front of the beautiful darshan of Lord Krishna and Srimati Radharani on the altar, standing nicely in a temple. Your mind automatically calms down. You become a little more peaceful. That is, spiritual beauty is always satisfying to the mind and heart. But material beauty, it may satisfy the eyes for a while, but it also induces a desire within us. I want to enjoy that beauty. I want to exploit that beauty. I want to make that beauty mine. Oh, this land is so nice. Can I become king of this land? Can I purchase land here? Can we make our home here? How many times people may feel when they go to some scenic spots, oh, we need to purchase a land and stay here only. We need to own this. Or when a young boy sees a young girl or a young girl sees a young boy, there's a desire for enjoyment, especially in the young age, right? So all these material beauties in this world will only create material desires in the heart. But spiritual beauty, the more we bring our eyes in contact with spiritual beauty, the more we feel nourished, we feel connected to Krishna. We feel that spiritual joy in contrast with the temporary, insubstantial material joys. And Krishna accepted all their greetings and prayers and entered the city of Dwarka. So many Brahmanas came, blessed Krishna. How can Brahmanas bless Krishna? Because Krishna is acting as a Kshatriya and the Brahmanas were Brahmanas. So conventionally it is appropriate. And Krishna bows down in front of Brahmanas. He even washes their feet. But from another perspective, because Krishna is a Supreme Personality of Godhead, these Brahmanas are like devotees of the Lord, it's inappropriate. But it's also appropriate in the sense that Krishna is playing the part of a human being as a Kshatriya, therefore he accepts their blessings. So Krishna eventually goes into the palaces, meets Vasudev, meets Devaki Mata, and meets the 18 wives of Vasudev and Ugrasena Maharaj and many other chief members of the Yadu dynasty. Finally, he enters into his own palaces of his 16,108 queens and greets those queens. And the queens look at Krishna, relish Krishna's beauty, and take Krishna into their hearts through their eyes and embrace Krishna within their hearts. So they don't immediately go and hug Krishna. So Krishna is coming out of their womanly shyness, natural shyness. They kind of restrain themselves and just see Krishna with their eyes, with shy, and accept Krishna's beauty into their eyes. And through their eyes, like the doors, the beauty of Krishna, Krishna's form will enter their hearts, and within their hearts, they embrace Krishna. How sweet it is, how beautiful it is. There are many more finer nuances that we can discuss about Krishna's entrance into Dwarka and how the Dwarkavasis welcomed Krishna into their homes and hearts. But it's almost an hour since we started. We can discuss more things tomorrow. Thank you very much. Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna.